For centuries, watch manufacturers have burdened humanity by putting second hands on watches, forcing us to endure the relentless passage of time with granular precision so that we might get to work on time and not miss trains. Citizen Watch has liberated us from the tyranny of the second hand with this watch right here, the Corso. Let's take a closer look at this liberator of a watch. This is the Citizen Corso. I paid $80 for it on Amazon. I haven't worn this watch, and I'm wearing gloves for the review because I want to keep it in new condition. This watch is intended as a gift from my stepfather. I was shocked to find that this watch had no second hand. I wouldn't buy a watch without a second hand, and if my stepfather doesn't like it, I'll return it. One reason why Citizen may have left out the second hand might have been because doing so is a way of conserving energy. The Corso is a solar-powered watch. When fully charged, it has a 9-month power reserve, which is pretty good. I tried to convince my stepfather to get a watch with a metal bracelet, as I believe that they are more durable, but he doesn't like metal bracelets because the metal irritates his skin, which is why I bought him this watch with a leather strap. The Corso does, however, come in a metal bracelet variant, which doesn't seem very appealing to me because it uses gold tones. The leather strap is 20 millimeters in width. I'm no judge of leather quality, so I will not speculate as to how good a piece of leather this is, but it does in fact say genuine leather, and it does feel reasonably thick. The strap has a fixed retainer here and one movable retainer. The strap has a signed buckle, which appears to be of reasonable size and quality. What I don't like about this buckle is that it is polished, which looks a little cheap, and it will be a scratch magnet. The watch face is extremely readable. The raised indexes are not blingy, but have enough reflectivity to make them helpful when attempting to read the watch in low light situations. The indexes are curved, yet pretty square. They look more like staples than indexes. This looks a little cheap to me. The monument style hands have reflective edges, which also assist in reading the watch in low light situations. There is lume on the hands and above the indexes, but the lume has about 10 minutes of staying power and is pretty useless. I know I'm asking a lot to have decent lume on a sub $100 watch, but I really thought that Citizen was too professional an outfit to manufacture a watch with crap lume. The date is readable for someone like me with poor eyesight, though I would have preferred that Citizen put slightly more margin around the date, which would have made the date easier to read. I really appreciate the Corso's discreet product branding, which has Citizen and Echo Drive below it. It uses a small and narrow font. The Corso has a flat mineral crystal. I'm not too crazy about mineral crystals as they will scratch, but I'm not going to complain about it at the sub $100 level. I don't see any anti-reflective coating, but this watch has such an uncluttered readable dial that you don't really need it. With exception to the crown not being signed, I really like the crown. It's very small and it's recessed, yet easy to operate for someone like me who has big fingers. In my experience, Citizen solar-powered watches are very accurate. I expect you won't need to set the time very often on the Corso. The Corso has very reasonable dimensions. It is only 40 millimeters in width, only 44 millimeters lug to lug, and only 8.5 millimeters in thickness. The case has curved lugs, which aid in wrist conformance. I'm sure that this watch wears like a dream. The case is brushed very nicely on the sides. The fixed bezel area and the area between the lugs, I'm talking about this right here, is polished. This watch would have looked so much nicer had it been all brushed, and the brushing would not act as a scratch magnet that the polishing will act as. There seems to be a dearth of inexpensive solar-powered watches like the Corso on the market. I chose the Corso for my stepfather because I wanted him to have a watch with quartz accuracy, and I didn't want him to go crazy changing batteries. Also, I've had good experiences with the Citizen brand. The Corso is a pretty unspectacular watch, but there's nothing alarmingly terrible about it, with exception to the lack of a second hand. For people who can tolerate a watch without a second hand, I think the Corso is a reasonable value for those who desire a low-maintenance, very readable and wearable watch that I suspect will last for a very long time.